action.
Action.
Ryan, how are you doing?
Rodney,
Yes.
you look like a Backstreet Boy tonight.
Somebody has to. So.
Good. That gives you 5 years off of your actual age, right? Look at
My 73,
oh,
I'm now
oh.
68.
Okay,
There we
Oh,
go.
wow.
Now I look 18.
Yes.
But I thought you were 26.
I know, you're doing math over there. I knew you were doing
Well, we've been doing this for 7 years now. Can you believe
Is that when we first started talking?
Yes, we did way back. I did a little profile on you, and people barely knew who the heck Ryan Seacrest was.
Yes, yes, I know. Well, fortunately that worked out because I was promising a lot probably in that piece.
That's
I
right.
was promising we'd have a hit show, but thank God we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, season 9, I mean, can you even imagine doing a 9th season at this point? Is it all blurring together?
You know, everything you're trained to think about in terms of the world of television is just to get a job.
Yes.
And then, maybe a job on primetime television, right? And then there's something called a pickup, right? Which you know about.
Right.
And you cross your fingers. I remember, actually, the first season of American Idol, once we got some of the ratings back, there was this buzz that people were watching it. And our biggest question was, do you think we'll get picked up for a second season? And there was like a lot of cross your fingers.
Did you think they were going to do a regular, like in the spring, or you think another summer, or because it was a summer show?
Right. Well, we were hoping we'd get the, because at the time I didn't have quite as much going on, and so we were hoping we'd get the pickup early. But I remember, just like every other show, we were in that window of not knowing, and fortunately we got the pickup.
When did they tell you? Was it by the time Kelly won, or is it before then you kind of knew?
It was before Kelly won that we found out that we were going to come back and do it.
You figured by then, given the buzz at that point, that it was...
But I mean, you know, the first season wasn't as long as they are
No.
now, so it wasn't quite the same. But yeah, there was
remember they cut to that first episode,
Exactly.
right? Bye, EJ, you're gone. And
Exactly. And, you know, all of us look exactly the same now. Don't
Oh, well... Yeah, I mean, the hair.
The hair,
yeah, the blonde
the
tips.
suits, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Simon had
Simon's-
longer hair at the time.
Well, he was 30 then. And so his look was just his aesthetic look was just a little different.
He's wearing the same shirts, though, exactly the same shirts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's
they just
puffier, but the
recycle.
shirts are shrinking.
Oh, that's not a good thing. Yeah. No. Well, wanted to, obviously Ellen's a big story for season 9. What was your reaction when you heard they got Ellen DeGeneres? When you first heard it, did you think it was a joke, or did you think, oh my God, is this real? Or
I remember the day I heard about it, and I heard about
them talking about it?
she was I think she was originally
Because it was
quick,
locked shut. When they announced it, there was no leak at all. It was
no. Which strangely, I remember having a conversation with Fox, and we all did about her, and we loved her. And I think in the context of that conversation, originally it was about her coming on to be a guest judge. And then it evolved and quickly happened that she was a permanent fixture, and is a permanent fixture, which is great. I mean, I really like her. I think she's really
completely different dynamic, though.
totally different. I mean, you know, it's not what people expected.
No, there's a lot of skepticism. I mean, I do a blog. I know a lot of people are skeptical of whether it will work. Obviously it's a chemistry issue. Will it work? We don't know.
I think if
until it
everybody
happens.
thinks anything is going to work, you're in trouble.
True.
The skepticism actually is fantastic. There was
Nobody believed Idol
skepticism.
would become anything.
Not only did they not believe, a lot of the networks passed on it and said you can't put music on television. And so, in my mind, you want skepticism. I think that's a benefit.
And there's also a lot of debate over 4 versus 3 judges. A lot of people prefer 3 judges because they think it eats up too much time. I mean, are you a proponent one way or the other, or you just roll with it?
Well, it does eat up a lot of time. We were in a bind many times last season with the show running long because that's the nature of the beast when you add people to it. But frankly, it doesn't make a difference to me. I think that having 4 adds obviously a little bit of flavor to the panel, and it was something to change it up so that it doesn't get to be what everybody expects it to be with the 3 panel. But Ellen being in that mix and being next to, if she sits next to Simon, will be interesting. Never a dull moment.
I always thought obviously the magic was Paula and Simon, brother sisterly type of interesting little dynamic. Yes. Was that sexual tension, or you
At
think
the
it was?
beginning, it was, I think.
See, wifey knows.
That's right.
There
I'm
she
a
is. That
fan.
voice you hear. That's Mrs. Ho.
Ellen, as far as what do you think the dynamic? Do you think Simon's going to really miss Paula? Is he going to sit there just pondering and thinking about her all the time? And
100%, we'll all miss her.
yes,
We'll all miss her. Honestly, we'll all miss Paula. So, will he miss? My guess is yes. Will there be a different dynamic and relationship? Absolutely. between those two. But I think it'll be fun.
What has Paula said to you since the news?
We spoke almost right away after the news, and we were all shocked and surprised by it.
So you figured a lot of that negotiating stuff, you figured, oh, it'll work out at some point. You know, there was a lot of stuff going on in the LA Times and money.
You learn not to believe everything that you see, and you certainly, I read that, and you wonder, but you don't get involved. It's none of our business, really. You know, it's up to her and the network and the show's creator. But I was surprised, and I remember speaking to her right after I heard the news, and she was at peace with the decision. She really felt like she needed to do what was best for her, and that's why she made her decision.
Things with you went much smoother, right? In terms of, there wasn't as much in the press about your negotiations. You signed a deal, and that was pretty much it. There was a little bit, but
yeah, mine was a different kind of deal. You know, as a judge and a host, it's just a different conversation. But mine went perfectly and smoothly, and I was obviously very happy with it, and I was very happy to be on the show and grateful for it, and I think that all of us, including Paula, are grateful for what it's been able to do for us.
And as far as in this season, I guess did you go to all the audition cities for the early, because you skipped Atlanta for the Georgia Dome, you didn't come for the
I went to, I was going to say twice, and did I miss the Dome?
Yeah, you did.
I did go to most of them, twice except for my hometown.
Yeah, what was that about? Where were you?
I don't know, I must have been on the air that day.
Yeah, you skipped Atlanta. I'm sure your mom was wondering too.
You know, Ronnie, I know, I can't remember the date, but I believe I was in London actually doing the deal to do American Idol when we were here, and so that was
it was back in June. Yeah, it was really early. The auditions were done really, really early.
I believe I was out of the country that day, meeting with everybody about doing Idol. So that would be the only reason I wouldn't be here, because they're in charge. They rule the schedule.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I get to go to just about every city twice.
Well, one more question. Rumors about Simon bringing X Factor over here. Have you heard anything more about that? Or
I've heard everything that you have heard about rumors. Seriously, I have not had a conversation with him about it directly, but I've only heard that there are rumblings. It's a fantastic television show that's hugely successful. It's.
Have you met Susan Boyle? Have you talked to her?
I haven't met her.
You talked to her on the phone, right?
I don't think I've even talked to her on the phone, but I've talked about her quite a bit with Simon. I get a chance to watch. Here's an interesting tidbit.
Yeah,
when we fly around the country doing American Idol, he brings tapes of himself on X Factor for us to watch and play. Exactly my look.
That's a little scary.
That's the look I get when I watch him. Exactly that.
Why does he want you to watch him on X Factor?
So he is as arrogant as he seems?
With charm.
With charm. He is charmingly arrogant.
Yes.
That's an interesting combo, isn't it?
It's likable narcissism.
It is. And who's unlikable narcissism now? I mean, that's the question. Yeah. I guess they're not on TV.
I guess they don't have much of a following, do they?
Yeah, like a David Hasselhoff also has sort of that.
He's likable.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something, right?
And even Pierce has a weird likability about him.
Pierce is a congenial guy. He's a likable guy. But that, I mean, Simon is that guy, and he plays that role. He's that character. But yes, we've only seen tapes of the X Factor. I don't know what's going to happen.
And YouTube, of course.
Yes, and YouTube, obviously.
Well, I'm glad. And how did you even manage to be relaxed enough to actually just have time to hang out here at the McDonald House?
Well, even though I keep a very, very intense work schedule and do a lot of different things like this, you make fun.
Yeah, it's nice to see you relaxed like this. It's unusual.
You haven't seen me in a t-shirt in a while.
Exactly.
This is not having the pace of a regular day makes a difference, being a Saturday. But you realize that in the scheme of things, the ability to come and try and put a smile on someone's face is the most important.
And yeah, I guess before we leave, obviously this is you're here. I mean, tell me about your experience here and what you're looking forward to tonight.
Well, tonight will be fun because Melinda Doolittle will sing, and I'll give her a hard time about that. We'll relive the.
You're not singing?
I'm not gonna. I was gonna rap at the end for the grand finale. But seeing a facility.
Bust a move. Come on.
Young MC?
Yeah.
Seeing a facility like this is great. And this is a fantastic place, and you realize that it's not just for the kids; it's for the families too. And they can be in the same place, and they can relate to each other and talk about what's happening.
It's so nice here. I'd move in. I mean, it's so nice.
I know, right? The hardwood floors are really nice. I can redo my place.
Get some interior decorating tips.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Rodney, good to see you. Thank you.